Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and welcome to another Craft Day Wednesday, where every Wednesday I post a new video. In today's video we're going to be making a boy doll. It's very similar to how I made the snowman boy, or whatever you want to call it. I made a snowman that is dressed in hi. Say hi, Coco, because you want to be in every single video. As y'all know by now, this is my little Coco. She wants to be in every video. She likes to be seen. Okay, you have to go back there and sit. You have to sit. Okay. So, sorry. Once again, the doll is very similar to how I made my little snowman boy. So, basically, all you're going to need is cardboard, scissors, felt. I took a pair of blue jeans and I just cut this little piece out, and these are going to be the pants. And I did this exact same thing in the snowman video. So if you go and watch the snowman video, you'll see how I did this. And I made his shoes the same way like I did in the snowman video. And this is the body. And so basically what I did was I took a styrofoam ball and I cut that styrofoam ball in half, just like this way. And once you cut it, this is what you're going to end up with. This is the front, this is the side, and this is the back. And it does not have to be perfect. And once I did that, I stuck a toothpick up through it, and I covered it in felt that you see here. And that's what I did for the head. Now for the body, I took a piece of paper and I sketched out a rectangle or a square, and I cut it out. And once you cut it out, this is what it's going to look like for the body. And I just took some wooden dowels and stuck them up through here for the legs. So I'm going to go ahead now and turn the camera down so y'all can see me put it all together. Okay, and I'm also going to be using push needle or push pins for the eyes, and I think I'm going to go with black eyes. So we're going to pick out 2 black pins. All right. So basically, like I said, I took an old pair of jeans and I cut it in half, and this is going to be the pants. And this is what we used. And we're going to go ahead and stick our our little boy through here. And this is what you're going to end up with. Once you get your little boy stuck in here, you're going to pull it up just like this. And these are the little shoes that we made. And we're going to go ahead and just stick those on to see how it's going to look. And this is what we ended up with. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pin this back with some hot glue. So we're going to go ahead and hot glue these in place. Hot glue the pants in place. And it's okay if they're up a little high, because that's what we want. Then I'm going to put a little bit here. Stick that there. And we're just going to hold that. And I'm going to put a little here. And we're going to go ahead and bend this back like this. So we're going to put some hot glue here. And we're just going to hold this in place. Being very careful that I don't burn myself. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue. And we're just going to hold that there in place. And now I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue down through here. And we're just going to hold that there, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And it's not going to be seen, but we're going to do it anyway. And this is what we have. And I'm just going to, there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and put some hot glue and hot glue the shoes into place. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue right through here. And we're just going to stick that right down in there. You're going to do the same thing to the other one. So I'm going to grab this, and we're just going to stick that on. And the shoes are going to be covered in felt, so you're not going to see that they're actually made out of cardboard. But they are. This is what we have. This is what we have so far. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to take, I took one of my husband's socks that he no longer wears, and we're going to use this as the shirt. And we're going to go ahead and pull this down, and I don't want it to go real far. This is about as far as I want it to go. So now I'm just going to fold this over like this. And I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue right here to secure that down. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And now I'm just going to go ahead and fix the back. So you're just going to hot glue this all the way around. Going up as high as you want to. So we're just going to pull this here like this. And I'm just going to tuck this down through here. And this is what we have. And I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue back here because it's not, I don't want that to move. Just hold that there. Do the same thing to the other side. There. Hold this here. This is what we have so far. Now we're going to decide on what color we want the shoes to be. And we just got to make sure that he's going to stand up. And there we go. So I think I'm going to make his shoes black. So I am going to take a piece of black felt in my scissors. And I'm just going to cut out a strip of black. And then I'm just going to measure around to see. Okay. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to start here, and we're just going to take this felt and we're just going to put it around the base of the shoe. So just basically we're just covering the shoe. Just like this. And we're just going to go all the way around and outline the whole shoe. Just like this. And I did this also in my snowman video. And we have another piece, and it's probably not going to be long enough, so I may have to cut some more. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and cut another strip because that one's not going to be long enough. So now we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to move this out the way. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this around like we did the other one. And be very careful that you don't burn yourself. Hot glue gun burns are not fun. So now I'm just covering it, going all the way around the shoe. And now I'm going to take my scissors and we're just going to cut this little piece here. And this is what we have. Now we're going to take some of that felt. If you want to use felt, you don't have to. You can paint it. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I can cut a little bit of this felt to cover the shoe. I'll do that last. I'll paint the shoe last. Now what we're going to do is I think I want to make the jacket that he's going to be wearing blue. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my scissors. What did I do with them? Or we can use black. I got a lot of white stuck to this black, but it'll be fine. We'll just pull it off. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to cut here. I was going to go with blue, but I think black might look a little better. Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and trim off a little. So I'm going to cut here. Let's move this out the way. We're going to cut a little here. And I am going to cut a little bit here. Because I don't want the jacket to actually close. Okay. So now I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Smoothing it out. And we're just going to set our doll back down up and on here. And I am going to bring it back. Turn it over this way. We're going to bring it here and here. And I'm going to go ahead and take my hot glue and we're just going to hot glue it into place. So we're just going to put this here like this. And we're going to go ahead and grab some hot glue and we're going to wrap this here. Just like that. Because I want the shirt to be seen, so I'm not going to close the jacket all the way. So we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue down through here. And we're just going to hold it till it dries. And we're going to do the same thing here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue down through here. And I am just going to hold that. And this is what we have. Next, we're going to go ahead And I'm just going to trim off a little of this because it's just hanging over just a little. And I am just going to fix it. Alright, there we go. So this is what we have. This is the back. Now we're going to do the arms. And we're just going to go ahead and use these that we cut. So I am just going to go ahead and fold these over just like this. And then we're just going to glue them. So I'm going to grab my hot glue gun and we're just going to take some hot glue and we're just going to go ahead and glue these closed. And I am going to take a little tube. I'll use the pencil. I can get that in here. And we're just going to go ahead and open that up a little bit. Do the same thing to this side. Actually, I think those may be a little too slim for me. So I am going to grab some more of the felt. And I am just going to cut off some. That's going to be kind of wide. And I'm going to fold it over and see how I like it. Okay, that's a little better. Now I'm going to use this as a reference. And I'm going to cut off 2. So we're just going to put this here. And we're just going to cover. And I'm just going to measure this out and cut 2. Turn this around. And here we have 2. Now, again, we're going to go ahead and close this in like I did the other ones. But that one wasn't as wide as I wanted it to be. So I decided to go ahead and make it a little bit wider. And now we're going to seal that closed. So we're going to hold this. We're going to set that to the side and we're going to do the same thing to the other one. So I'm just going to cut that little piece off. Going to fold it. Stick a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and put a little more on here, just like this. And I'm going to grab my pencil. Alright, that one went all the way through. And we're going to do the same thing to this one. And now I'm going to measure and see about where I want the arms. So I am going to take my 2 pieces, I'm going to put them together, and I am going to go ahead and cut. So I'm going to open the bottom of this. Same with this one. And I am just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and glue these down in place. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use this red pipe cleaner because it's not going to be seen anyway, because it's going to go up through here. And we're going to use these as the arms because the pipe cleaner is flexible, so you can adjust the arms in any position you want. So I'm going to put that in, and we're just going to cut here. And we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to stick that in through here. And I'm just going to cut it here. Pull that up. And I'm going to do it here. But now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give this, I'm thinking about giving him a blue scarf. So if I do that, or I could take another piece of my jeans that I have here, and we can make the scarf out of this. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut my scissors. I'm going to take my scissors and we're going to cut some more of this jean material off. Because like I said, I made these with just old clothes. You can also use felt, but I'm using some old jeans. Let's put that back. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this way. And then, okay, let's set that to the side. I want to go ahead and finish this before I get too far ahead of myself. So now we're going to take some of this material here, and I'm just going to cut off a little piece. And I'm going to fold it over, and we're just going to cut and do little hands, which is going to be our doll's hands. And I'm going to do that again. So we're just going to cut. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to hot glue these ends together. Just like this. Stick it there. Do the same thing to the other one. Like this. And there we have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to stick this in here just like this. So I'm just going to round off the ends a little bit so they'll stick up in the coat. One more. And we're just going to stick that. Actually, we're going to put that right here. So I need to push this down a little. And we're just going to stick that in here. Okay. Actually, alright, I may have to try another thing with those. But for right now, I am just going to go ahead and we're just going to stick the arms in place. So we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue here. And we're just going to stick this down here just like this. And you're going to hold it for a minute. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Making sure that we get them even. So I'm going to put some hot glue right here. And we're just going to go ahead and stick this down on here. Just like this. And you just like I said, you're going to hold it for a little bit. And now I'm going to take another piece of that black felt. And I'm just going to cut as evenly as I can. this up. And I am going to go ahead and take this, and we're just going to wrap this around. I'm going to pull it, because if you pull on felt, it stretches. So yeah, so we're going to bring this back, and I am just going to put this here, and we're going to bring this over like this. So I am going to take my hot glue gun, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue here, and we're going to put a little bit here, and we're going to go ahead and put a little bit back here. And this is what we have. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some more of that black felt, and we're going to make a little hat for our little man. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking it and I'm stretching it again. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set this on here, and we're going to wrap it around just to see. I'm going to stretch it again to make sure that I have enough to go around his whole head. And that's the one thing that I like about felt, it stretches. So let's see here. Or I'm trying to think. I don't know if I want to do like a black hat, or if I want to do like a blue and then like a blue scarf like this on him. What do y'all think about this? Or do we want to keep it black? I'm going to grab some more. I'm going to grab my jeans again, and I am going to try to cut a little neater. What did I do with the scissors? So yeah, I didn't like the way that came out, so we're going to try this again. So I am going to take these, and I am going to cut. Try to cut a little neater. There we go. Now we're going to set that out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. And I may just go ahead and use part of this as his hat for his, for his head. So now what I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit of this off, because I don't need this whole piece. I'm sure of it. So we're going to bring our doll back. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take my hot glue, and we're just going to make the hat. So we're going to put a little bit of hot glue right on the edge, not going over too much, and we're just going to hold that there, and we're going to glue this all the way across. So just a thin layer of hot glue all the way across. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to slide this back on our doll. And you may have to play with it for a minute, but it will go. That's how we measured it. Get it right, girl. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to pick about how tall we want this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut here. And I'm going to go ahead and push this down. Or we can leave it up. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of this to clean up the edges a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and seal these ends together like this. So put a little bit of hot glue here and here, and I'm just going to bend these ends down. And we're going to do the same thing to this side. And I'm going to take a little piece of the jean part, the crease, and I'll show you in a second. This piece here, and we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to glue that around just like this. So we're going to put some hot glue right around the edge of the hat. Like this, and we're just going to take this and we're just going to stick this around. So we're going to go all the way up to the back as far as we can go with it. Stick it there. Hold it for a minute and grab another glue stick. Pop that in there, and we're going to put a little bit of glue on the other side. And we're just going to stick that here. And we're going to hold that for a minute. This is what we have. Now we're going to go ahead and attempt to make his scarf using this material. This probably don't stretch, but we gonna see. Alright. I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and add a second piece to it to make it a little bit longer. So I have these two, and I'm just gonna go ahead and overlap them a little bit like this. So we're just going to stick that right down on top of there, and we're just going to hold it for a minute. And we'll put this part in the back, so that way it's not seen. So we're going to go ahead, and this is what it's going to look like. And then I am going to go ahead and bring this over. We're going to tie a little bit of a knot. Just like this. So let's tuck that like that, and I'm just going to pull this like this, and we're going to pull this down a little bit so the white end of his shirt shows. So just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put a little bit of hot glue here to keep this in place, just like that. And I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue down here, but we don't need his scarf to be this long, so we're just going to cut a little. And I am just going to use a little bit of hot glue right there and stick it there. And this is what we have. Now all we have to do is add a little bit of a nose and his eyes. So, what did I do with that peach felt? I have it here. I'm just going to take a very little piece, and we're just going to cut off a little for his nose. So I'm going to put a little bit here. And we're just going to go ahead and stick that nose right there. And I mentioned that we're going to do his, and I lost the pen. What did I do with the other one? Okay, now right now I'm just looking to see where I put the push pins. So we're going to go ahead and grab our 2 push pins, and I decided to do his eyes dark. So we're just going to stick his eyes in. And you can glue these in place if you want to, so they don't come out. And this is what we have. Now the last thing that we need to do is put his hands on. So once again, I am going to take a piece. Here's actually, here we go. We're just going to take this, and I am just going to cut off a little piece, and these are going to be the gloves. There's one, and we're going to do the same thing to the other one. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to cut off, and these are going to be his hands. Okay, I'm going to use this one for a reference. That way they're the same size. So we're going to go ahead and cut like this. And we're going to cut around. And now we have 2. So we're going to go ahead and pull off these little glue strings that seems to stick everywhere. And now we're going to go ahead and put the hands in place. And I'm just going to use some hot glue to secure that in place. And I'm going to pull that extra off. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm just going to go ahead, stick this up in here, just like this. Put a little bit of hot glue. Hold that there. We got the hands in place. And now for the shoes. If you want to, and you know what, I think I'm going to leave mine's brown. I'm going to leave them just like that. I'm not going to paint them. I'm not going to cover them in felt. I'm just going to leave them just as is. And here is the doll all completed. And that is it. Let's clean up my area. And that is it for this video. And yeah, so if you like this little doll, please give me a like, a comment, and a thumbs up. Please feel free to share this video. If you would like to see me do any other type of video, please let me know in the comment box below. And I'm going to go ahead and turn back my camera up. So, yeah, this is the little doll that we just made. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And, yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out to watch my videos. And I hope you all have a very nice day and a happy Thanksgiving. Bye.